Hello everybody and welcome back to FX Street. My name is Akash and today we're going to be taking a look at three altcoins that are showing strength and three altcoins that are ahead of the curve or perhaps ahead in their recovery rally outlooks. So let's get into it. Wait, before we get into it, please make sure to head on over to our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to stay updated to all things crypto, make sure to also click on the bell icon. You can give us a follow on Twitter at FXSCrypto, and if you enjoy the content that I put out, make sure to give me a follow as well at Mangyako with a 0 at the end. Now, I've created a Telegram group on July 1st where I post my thoughts on the market and the trades that I'm hoping to take. If you want to follow along, make sure to join the group. It'll be really helpful. So let's get into the three altcoins, right? Now, for this video session, I want to talk about how there was or there is still basically a cluster of resistance. So on a 4-hour time frame, you can see that the 400 EMA, 34-day EMA, and then the 200 EMA basically are all coinciding around this, forming this cluster, right? Now let's take a look at altcoins that have already overcome the structure and that could potentially result in good gains if and when Bitcoin starts a recovery rally. Right, so the first coin that I want to talk about is UNFI, which is a really good coin on Binance, and it rallied. It did really good numbers between the 5th and the 8th of June, basically the first and second week of June, right? And now it's been slowly triggering these massive rallies, as you can see here, each time producing, if not equal highs, higher highs, right? So this coin has moved past all these indicator clusters, right? Even though it did a massive rally, the retracement was interesting as well. It bounced off of these indicators, these moving averages, and continues to hold above them, although it did dip below it for a brief moment in time. Now, as long as these levels hold and this trend continues, you get a really good sense of what's happening here and scalp this altcoin, right? As for where it is going, let's take a look at it. Right, for now, what I'm expecting is that the price has done this impressive rally, and as you can see here, each time the price attempts to rally, it basically undoes the whole thing. But here the structure kind of changed a little bit. So let's take a look at what's happening here. The price dipped below 50 and possibly hit 60.62% fib and 70.5 fib. Yep, came very close to retesting this. So let's take a look at what's happening right now. It did hit 62.5, which means that the rally has already started. But if we're lucky, we could probably get another retracement down to 70.5 and then make another attempt to move higher. Now, if you look at this particular rally, the price came down to 70.5 and then moved higher. So with this one, you can see the price, although it extended beyond this minus 0.27 retracement level here, the candlestick body is kind of close below this. So assuming we get something similar for this next leg here, then you could be looking at, from the current position, if 16% upswing for UNFI. But if we get a retracement down to 70.5, perhaps we could you'll be looking at a 30% upswing for UNFI. All right, let's take a look at the next coin, which is Rune. On a 4-hour time frame, the price was when I scouted these coins well above these moving averages on a 4-hour time frame, but since then the price has managed to kind of dip below these two indicators. So what I'm expecting right now, although the coin does not show a lot of value, this particular rally that you see here from 1.7 to 2.4 is basically returning to the mean. So once we get a bounce off of the if we get a bounce off the midpoint at 2.089, well and good, you long here and then you wait for the price to go back up to this level here, which is 2.3, and then close your trade. Now, this is a pretty good 12% upswing, but since that's not happening, what I'm expecting here, what's happening here right now is basically, this is basically a topping process. So what I'm expecting next is another blow-off rally. The price does something like this and goes down. Now, a classic top signal indicator would be this, right? Price forms a high, breaks above that high, and then once the price moves back below the low between these two high, you will know that the price has formed the top. in which case you wait for the price to at least go back up and then short it at any of the important or significant levels. And that's what I'm expecting from Thorchain. But if you are a scalper, you could easily look at this particular upswing and potentially take the trade. So let's take a look at the next coin, ENS. I think ENS also kind of moved below. Yep, it looks like ENS has done something similar over the last 24 hours. Actually, the last, yeah, I think over the last 24 hours, things have changed quite a bit. 11th was started here. Yep, the price was comfortably sitting above this level. So the interesting thing about ENS is that it had moved above this declining trend line here, and it did produce a perfect retest, and not just moving above this declining indicator, but the price did manage to flip this horizontal resistance level into a support floor as it did. It was a two birds with one stone kind of outlook, and the price not also broke above it, but retested the resistance levels, confirming the flip of them into support floor, and the price rallied higher. But unfortunately, the timing was not right, and Bitcoin price retraced, causing ENS price to drop as well. Now, regardless, there is a buy signal here from the MRI indicator on a 4-hour time frame, and as you can see, the top indicators have been pretty spot on. First top drop, but was valid again. So hopefully the buy signal pans out, and the price, if not all the way up to $10, we could expect the price to go up to at least a 6% upswing to at least $9.8. But ideally, I would love for the price to retest this level here. Now it could also be forming this inverse head and shoulders pattern, and either way, right, if you get something like this, it would be an inverse head and shoulders pattern, and then you could probably short this all the way down to $8.55. Anyway, you look at it, there are trade opportunities for this particular coin from a scalping perspective, right? So these are the three coins that I'm looking at to actively trade. Although Bitcoin price has been pretty, especially since Bitcoin price has been very impossible to trade. So yep, that is pretty much it for today's analysis. If you enjoyed this session, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.